Kingsclere.
My Lords, I refer to my interest in the Register specifically as a professor at Buckingham University, and like so many of the people who have already spoken, I want to congratulate Lord Knight of Weymouth for the passionate and no-nonsense way in which he introduced this important topic. And I particularly wanted to thank him for identifying, if you like, where the cuts would come, where it would be slotted in, that it would be part of the existing citizenship teaching. Because one of the things I've noticed in the short time that I've been in this House is that people are very bad at what we might loosely call fiscal neutrality, right? It's much easier to ask for things than to identify where the commensurate space is going to be freed up. That is particularly obvious when we talk about financial matters. I hear voices from all sides saying, will the minister spend more on this or that? Almost never do I hear anybody saying, and we would have to raise this tax or cut this in order to cover it. And of course it's true of these curricular questions too. We all have our own ideas about what we would like to see taught in all schools. I agreed very much with what my noble friend Baroness Fuchs said about nature, love of nature starting in the local, in the rooted, in the specific. You know, I see my 5-year-old and his friends doing these nature walks and learning different bird songs and recognizing different leaves and different wildflowers. I wish I'd done that at their age. And I wish that every child had the chance to do it. But I don't immediately say that it therefore has to be shoehorned into every curriculum, because there are always balancing interests. We can all think of things that we would like all kids to learn. Maybe these days they should be doing, I don't know, more coding. Maybe these days they should be doing more basic behavioral psychology, learning to identify false heuristics, learning those moments when their intuitions lead them astray. There are lots of things that would lead them to better life outcomes. But what are we going to cut? Are we going to say, let's not do modern languages because we've got such good software these days that does simultaneous interpretation? Are we going to say, well, we don't really need all the geography we used to have because you can swipe and find everything out? We don't really need to know what an oxbow lake is these days because, you can find it. I don't know. But the more this debate goes on, the more I realise that there is a case for humility on the part of legislators and governments, for modesty. We don't have the power. No Secretary of State has the power to thrust a hand into every classroom and decree exactly what should be taught and learned. And so I'll finish with a plea to the Minister and to your Lordships more widely that we should not be too prescriptive. National curriculum should be kept terse, taught and spare, and we should give maximum discretion and flexibility to teachers and heads who are in turn answerable to local parents.